Into this next exercise, we're really starting to get more into the return to running load. So again, instead of taking things up just heavier or deeper, we're going to destabilize them because that's a little bit more matched to the requirement of these muscles in a running position. We're not actually getting into super deep hip flexion, super deep knee flexion that's loaded when we're running. We're absorbing force on a relatively straight leg. We just want it to go to the right place and then creating a nice push force off of that. That requires us to come on and off of a leg, of course. So we're going to do now a reverse tap lunge instead of a static lunge or the kettlebell swing from previous progressions. We're also going to pick the reverse tap lunge instead of just loading up traditional movements, again, like we said, to be sport specific. We're picking reverse instead of forward because the workload of the movement for running is pushing ourselves forward rather than pushing ourselves back to where we came from. There are plenty of reasons to use a forward lunge. This is just not the main one. We're not going to worry about going down towards the floor like we said, so we're going to find that same kickstand position from our kettlebell swing video. Not a lot of weight on our back foot, feeling ourselves here, mostly loaded on the hip just to hold the position. And we're going to make sure we create this movement intentionally. We're going to come up to standing, but we're going to do so by pushing through our front leg. You should almost feel like your toes either drag up with you on the back leg or float up off the ground for you to come here, and optional all the way up to a knee forward. We're going to try to avoid touch tapping at the top because we want that hip to offer us the stability through the full extension, and this is how we practice it. We're then going to try to get all the way back to where we started without putting that weight into the back leg, and then again, shift, push all the way up. I don't want to see little bits of kind of checkpoints on our way back down and out. That's also the function of the hip, helps us control our movement as we step all the way back. My load's still on my left leg. Shift, push all the way up. There's no back load. There's actually very minimal quad load on this variation because we're really focusing on sitting back versus sitting down. You might feel a little shin calf work, but it should be relatively minimal compared to what the hip does, because we don't want to pass off the work of these big muscles onto these little ones and then develop some other sort of muscle or tendon irritation. As you come through these, the goal is to feel tired, but that you have the capacity to control it. If you don't, you either need to regress to an easier exercise or pop a couple fingers on top of a box or a wall or something so that you can control the movement, feel the thing you're supposed to, and then progress towards doing it without any hands for support, staying nice and light, coming up and out. If we show this movement fully from the side, let's see, where are we? Up on top. You can also see, if we really analyze it, that there's not a ton of knees over toes to this position. Ooh, lose a little of my own balance here as I get warmed up. We're really trying to reach back, keeping all of that weight in the working leg. You can add your arms, like we said. It'll match the opposite side. So when my right knee's forward, my right elbow's forward, and I'm going to come up into this position. Don't need to worry about really bracing your core. Use your hips for the movement and just add your breath to it. Just take some nice exhales, inhales. You can switch it up. You can inhale when you drop back, exhale when you come up. The reverse, breathe in and out on each phase of the movement. We shouldn't really have to attach muscle engagement to one phase of breath. We should be able to breathe, definitely breathing, but at any different pattern while we're engaging that muscle, because if we think about each individual step that we're going through, we're not going to inhale, exhale on each time we need to engage those muscles within the movement. So we want to make sure that we're matching the sport, we're matching the situation, we're letting our breathing continue naturally to serve the body and facilitate oxygen transfer so that our muscles can keep going, but we're not exclusively associating the extension of our hip with our exhale.